It all began with a conversation. Me and a friend of mine at Facebook were discussing online spaces, how they have managed to accumulate the same primitive practices as they exist in our society. At Center for Social Research, we've been working against gender-based violence for over 3 decades. I penned down a few thoughts on how we could go about engaging young people to build their capacities for a safe, gender-sensitive and inclusive online experience. We presented this idea to Facebook, a series of workshops across India about online safety to engage with young college students, enabling them with powerful social media tools to collaborate in creating innovative campaigns for social change. Hence began the most significant journey of my life, social surfing. Varanasi is one of the oldest living cities in the world. Mark Twain once said, "Varanasi is older than history, older than tradition, older than the legend, and looks twice as old as all of them put together." It is almost anticlimactic as we land in a sleek new airport. The chrome is shining, the floor is clean, all the announcement boards work flawless. This is the new age Varanasi city. En route home in a prepaid taxi, we see a huge hoarding of an app-based cab company. I think to myself, maybe this city is embracing the cyber revolution. Maybe the digital divide is not as big as the statisticians claim. I asked my driver about the same.
ये ओला वाला जो कंपनी था भैया, ये चला यहाँ, पता नहीं लोग कहते हैं कि कमाई नहीं हो रही, कमाई या लोगों का बहुत ज़्यादा हमने लगाया नहीं कि बराबर वो है। एक तो कि सबके पास वो नहीं होता है, फ़ोन नहीं होता है। हाँ, बुलाने का बनारस में इतना जाम रहता है ना। अच्छा कि आदमी।
From our little conversation, it was clear that talking about the internet and secure online spaces in this city would be a tug of war between the old and the new mindset. I went to bed watching a Hollywood zombie flick. Before the world could be saved on my laptop, I was sound asleep. The next morning, I woke up to loud prayers. I walked to one of the ghats to look at the morning aarti, an extravagant religious ceremony that takes place on the banks of the holy river. Digital documentation was at full swing. For every 2 people with folded hands, there were 2 holding mobile phones, recording their pilgrimage and sharing it online. When I came back, I was greeted by Rajinder Bhaiya, a social activist and our local coordinator for social surfing. Some homemade breakfast and we were off with our driver Botu, in the quickest way to whiz past the traffic in Varanasi, an auto rickshaw.
मुन्ना से फगुआ में काम नहीं चली, मुन्ना से फगुआ में काम नहीं चली.
Our first stop was Banaras Hindu University. With over 20,000 students on campus, it is one of the largest residential universities in Asia. We visit the Vishwanath temple, grab some tea in a truly local way, and head to the medical department for our first social surfing workshop in Varanasi.
Hi, my name is Amitabh. My team is setting up the laptop, and then I try to just reach out to you guys. We work at Center for Social Research. It's an organization working for women's empowerment for the last 32 years. And the second people who are partnering in this project are called Facebook. Has somebody heard of that small company? Anybody happen to be on that portal? Could I see a show of hands in case you are there? Nobody's on Facebook? Please put your hands up. Alright, wonderful. So there'll be two aspects of this workshop. One is talking about communication, and the second one is talking about how to say safe online.
Clearly struck a chord with our participants as our discussions continued into the corridors.
मेरी फ्रेंड थी, उसका आईडी हैक हुआ था एंड फोटोज वर डाउनलोडेड फ्रॉम दैट एंड न्यू आईडी वाज मेड.
My classmates did this, and the clicks we got during any sort of picnic or something, they used those photos, and so my fake accounts were made.
फ्रेंड्स में ही बात होती है इनिशियली, तो देन इफ़ वी कांट कंट्रोल देन वी हैव टू टॉक टू आवर एल्डर्स, और मतलब समवन वी कैन ट्रस्ट ऑन एंड वी डोंट थिंक दैट आवर previously will be offended in some sort of conditions.
So before you start using, it's better if you're already made aware that you might face these kind of problems, and so be careful.
I'm not now better informed about the security measures which I can take, especially in a Facebook profile, and I can control what information I am sharing, to whom I am sharing, who is going to see whatever I am writing or whatever I am trying to share. Or one thing more, I also got to know the power of my comments.
सर सोशल मीडिया इज़ अ वेरी बिग प्लेटफॉर्म. इसका यूज़ बहुत सारी चीज़ों में किया जाता है और किया ही जा रहा है.
It should be used for a great cause like Nirbhaya, and I was in Delhi and I was seeing this, all the crowd, and they were just standing against one single cause. It had very positive effect on the people.
During the conversations, we were told about Professor Roina Singh. In the past, she has handled cases of cyber violence against students in the university.
We used to get letters or we write letters. That's all we did. These email things started in my postgraduates, I think. Yes. I'm a computer savvy, and something without computers or internet, I feel it's like the lights have gone out of my life, something like that. And they have to be used very, very, as you say, with etiquettes and willfully. There was a girl, she was very good, and out of rivalry, the few boys who were very close to her, they had set up her number and something at some wrongful sites, and then we tried to explore it. We took out that pictures, and then we realized that it was not made it. They had put somebody look alike, and they're so good about it. They know how to change their IP addresses. They know where to sit, where they will not be caught. It's something like these days we try to catch a terrorist and we find it's from a cyber cafe they did it, something like that. As a parent, I cannot stop, for example, porno. I cannot tell my child, look, this is good, and we both sit together and see, no. And I cannot stop him also from not watching it. There comes a time when he will know about it and he watches it, but he cannot tell me, I cannot tell him. So this is where you all can come up. They feel very comfortable, okay, this is something, there's nothing wrong. Everybody has seen it, but where they are supposed to put a borderline to it.
It was evident from talking to Professor Roina that some or the other form of cyber harassment is a normality for young women. It was quite a revelation to find out that cyber abuse is common even in this ancient city. It strengthened our belief to take up the cause of online safety in our workshops. Over the next 3 days, we conducted multiple workshops across Varanasi.
हर चीज के ऊपर एक ओपिनियन देना बहुत जरूरी है, लेकिन इंटरनेट के आने के बाद इतनी सारी जानकारी है, कुछ सही, कुछ गलत, कुछ मनगढ़ंत.
फेक प्रोफाइल का बड़ा आसानी से पता लग जाता है, लेकिन हाँ, उसका कोई 100% कोई ऐसा फिल्टर या ऐसा कोई चेक नहीं है जिससे कि ये पता लग जाए ये फेक है. दोनों टीमों के पास जो वहाँ पे बैठी हुई हैं, उनके पास ऐसे फिगर्स हैं, ठीक है, अलग दे स्क्वायर, रेक्टेंगल, ट्रायंगल, और ये जो दो टीमें बैठी हुई हैं, इनको ऐसे डायग्राम्स मिलेंगे.
We always try and keep our social surfing workshops interactive, aiming to achieve the maximum participation from students. This helps us build a relationship of trust with them. After each workshop, more and more students came up to us and shared their personal concerns about online safety. One of the other key modules of our workshop is to train people to practice counter-speech. Young minds will always and should question the existing norms. It is essential for their growth as citizens, as is their urge to revolt when they do not receive satisfactory answers. But the language and art of revolt, which we observe in present times, is truly a cause of concern.
ऑनलाइन हैरेसमेंट और हेट स्पीच का जो ग्लोबल खाली एक ही सोल्यूशन है, और वो सोल्यूशन जो है उसको कहते हैं काउंटर स्पीच. काउंटर स्पीच इज एन आर्ट टू एंगेज विद द ऑपोजिट. समबडी कोई ऐसा है जो आपसे झगड़ा कर रहा है, आपसे गाली गलौज कर रहा है, लेकिन आपने उससे इस प्रकार से बात की कि खाली उसे डराया धमकाया नहीं, उससे कुछ नहीं बदलता, उसकी सोच बदली. नाउ हाउ डू यू चेंज समबडीज परसेप्शन? Firstly, by being sensitive. Secondly, you have to give them ways out of a conversation कि भाई अपनी इज्जत रखते रखते आप पीछे हट जाइए, आपने अपनी गलती मान ली, आपको इस प्रकार से बात करनी पड़ेगी. और तीसरी बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात है, फैक्ट्स पे बात करें. Talk about facts. When we are well informed about our topic, then we can have a good conversation.
एक बहुत नोबल मैनर है जिसमें सबको बिहेव करना चाहिए. और आप काउंटर स्पीच की बात करते हैं तो इससे एक बार सबको लगता है कि नहीं, समथिंग दैट वी आर डूइंग इज़ रॉन्ग. हम लोग थिक स्किन बन जाते हैं, वी इग्नोर थिंग्स, दैट इज़ ऑल्सो रॉन्ग. हम लोग फटाफट अब्यूजिव लैंग्वेजेस में रिप्लाई करने लगते हैं, दैट इज़ ऑल्सो रॉन्ग. सो वाई नॉट टेक इन अ नोबल मैनर ऑफ रिप्लाइंग टू थिंग्स और उसको एक अच्छे तरीके से सॉर्ट आउट करना. दैट इज
जितना हो सके पहले सह लो, जब बोलना हो तो ऐसा बोलो कि सामने वाला चेंज हो जाए.
यहाँ से ये शुरू होता है कि अगर हमें कोई चीज़ ख़राब लगती है तो उसको बिना सोचे समझे फॉरवर्ड करने से पहले हम उस इंसान से पूछें जिसने मुझे ये फॉरवर्ड किया कि ये चीज़ आपने क्यों फॉरवर्ड की है.
काउंटर स्पीच के बारे में जो आप कहा, हम पूर्ण रूप में आपसे सहमत हैं कि भाई दूसरे की बातों को हम चाहते हैं कि हम अपने जवाब भी दे लें और डिसप्लीज्ड भी न हो. जो है ये नहीं है कुछ न कुछ कहा तो हम ऐसी बातें कुछ एब्यूसिव लैंग्वेज में कहें, हम उसको काउंटर करें लेकिन कहीं न कहीं मर्यादा को ध्यान में रखते हुए हमारी बात भी वहाँ पहुँच जाए और निश्चित रूप से वो इनरेज्ड भी न हो.
I do believe if our schools and colleges trained its students in the art of counter speech, we could create a much more nuanced and factual culture of discourse.